So welcome to episode 3 of the Megan Tan Studios channel. And today I have a special guest called Alina. So I'm going to ask a couple of questions just to start off the interview. So Alina, what is one morning ritual you can't live without?
Oh, I have couple.
Okay.
I think for me it's very important in the morning to exercise. Even if it's just a short walk. Just getting myself moving gets me motivated. And it also helps a lot to set up my day in my head and plan ahead what I want to do, where I want to start, and things so on. So out of everything that I do in the morning, I think doing a bit of exercise, that it's one thing I cannot live without.
Yeah, and for me, I think it would be doing like stretching, like yoga in the morning, something like that, and also getting into this good energy state, like gratitude for me. Um, and the other question is, if you could instantly master any hobby or skill, what would that be?
Ooh.
If you were like able to just download all the skills of one particular thing, or what would that be?
Probably the skill of storytelling or writing a book or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's what just came to my mind. So I'm not sure if it's
Mm.
something to be something more practical. Probably I would like to know how to play
Oh,
tennis, but
play
if the
tennis?
first thing I would like to be very good at is storytelling or like writing a book.
Oh, okay. Is this something that you want to do later on? Like eventually you want to write a book?
Yes, I did think about it a couple of times, but I think at this stage I'll just keep concentrating on other things and I will
Mm.
get to writing a book one day. I'm pretty sure I will.
Yeah. Okay,
Which is
well,
crazy because I don't like books that much and I usually read them on Audible. I don't read them,
uh,
but I still want to write one. So I don't know how it
okay,
works together. Don't ask me, but
okay. Yeah. All right. So we'll get into the question. So, yeah, who is Alina and why do you do what you do?
I guess Alina in her authentic self, in her day to day without what I do or what I don't do, is just an adventurous, crazy soul, I would say.
Okay.
Um, and she just likes to experiment and learn new things constantly. Like if somebody says something to me that attracts my ears for a bit and it just gets into my heart or my mind, I will just instantly start researching and get deeper and see if there's something more that I want to find out on. Um, Now this is me outside the camera, Instagram, TikTok, or
Yeah.
work or anything else. But myself as a soul, I'm very committed to help people. I would say heal their relationship with their current reality and learn how to create a new one that is on their own terms and whatever feels right for you without limiting beliefs, without society expectations, behind all that, all those things that we're taught to do or expected to do. I want to teach people how they can create a life which looks exactly how it feels right for them. So I think that's probably why I came here on Earth. I'm not sure yet. I'm still trying to figure out if this is 100% just my only mission or there's something else going to come later. But I see so many people and so much sadness every single day, and so many people walk around like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like when they walk, they look like they're going to a funeral or to be killed or something because so many people walk so unhappy. Now, obviously, you are in Gold Coast, so the sun is out, so it's a bit better around your world. But in Melbourne here, sometimes it's just depressing looking how upset people are when they're walking and they just look like they have no desire to live, to be honest.
Yes. I was talking to someone from the Gold Coast, and I'm actually in Perth.
Ah.
Yeah. So it's actually really nice weather today. Yeah, very mild. Um, yeah, so I wanted to ask you, the next one is about a bit about where you're from and your childhood because you're in Melbourne, but then you were where did you grow up?
So my background, obviously, my
Mhm.
accent raised
Mhm.
me. I'm from Romania. So I grew
Mm.
up in Romania until I was 21. I did my first degree in there, and then once I finished my first bachelor, I flew to Australia when I was 21 and started my journey over here, I guess. I did not always lived in Melbourne. I first lived in Canberra, then in Sydney, and then I moved to Melbourne. But yeah, I'm from East Europe, for people who don't know. So Romania is very close to Ukraine, by the way, so where the war is coming, or is happening, sorry. So yeah, it's a very different culture than here. Most of you probably already know that Europe is usually completely different than Australia altogether, but I think Romania is more like, I wouldn't say a poor country, but I would say a bit more, not poor, poor, but medium. Poor towards medium, let's say it like that. So completely different environment that the environment I'm living right now in.
Yeah, so what caused you to leave Romania, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, you can ask. Um, oh, to be honest, it was just a gamble. I got one phone call one day from an university from Canberra, saying that I was admitted at a master in here. And that only happened because one day, out of a completely bored room, being completely bored, I decided to apply for universities around the world to go do my master's. And that was literally because I was bored. I've never thought about it properly. I have never actually considered it properly. And then I think it was 4 months later, I got a call from the university in Canberra and they told me I was accepted. And to be honest, I was completely in shock because I completely even forgot that I have applied for that university. So I was like, all right, well, I think I need to go now. So it was literally like spinning the globe and I end up here. I did not have, between the phone call and me coming into Australia, I think was like a month and a half. So I did not have much time to think about it, to plan anything. I just got the phone call and put myself in a plane and here I am in the country of kangaroos and all these beautiful creatures that any other countries don't have. And the reason I said kangaroo is because when I landed in Canberra, coming from Romania, all I could see is big fields of kangaroos. And I was wondering myself, what did I just do?
Yeah, that's so funny. Um, and so what inspired you to start your business, and how has that inspiration evolved over time?
So I think the inspiration comes from the fact that many years ago, I went and saw a psychic medium to ask him for if I'm going to get my permanent residency. And back then, when somebody would tell me to go to a psychic medium, I thought that, he just tells you the future and gives you a message from a past loved one and happy days and you leave. And I remember when at the end of the session, because he never said anything about my documents or my visa here, I asked him in the end, like, am I going to get my permanent residency? And I will never forget, he pulled up two cards, and one said yes, and one said no. And then he looked at me and he said, Alina, it's going to be up to you. It's only up to you to make this happen. And I remember I looked at him and I kid you not, I thought, what on earth? Like, seriously, what did I even pay you for? Like, what's the point if you can't tell me? Because that's as much as I thought back then. Anyway, he did gave me a bit of explanation of that what things I can do to bring it back to bring it to my reality faster. And back then, because I was so stressed and desperate, I just did it. I did not ask any questions. I just did what he told me. And I think it was 3 months later that I literally got my permanent residency after waiting for 4.5 years. So it worked. However, I've never thought about it properly until I actually did a course with him, a psychic mediumship course. And then he was explaining us that we now, because I'm a psychic medium as well, what we do, what they do, is literally look into your quantum field, into your energetic field, and just tell the person what's available. However, they can tell us what's available for us, but it's still up to us to make it happen. Because if we don't do anything towards whatever that we desire, that thing is going to stay that in the energy field and quantum field, it's not going to come to a reality. So that was when I was like, hold on a sec. So instead of giving readings to people and tell them what's already there available for them, why not just help them to create it and help them take the necessary steps to achieve what they truly desire? So that's when it all came to me. I just think it's very powerful for psychic medium as well, like delivering messages and helping people with their future. 100% it is, but I think for me it's more helping people to get there, get them motivated, get them to learn the steps, understand how the subconscious minds work. And there's so many things around this manifesting subconscious mind, energetic fields. You already know. I don't have to. We probably can talk about it for like a week if we start, to be honest.
Yeah. So what about, was there any, along your business journey, was there a particular point in, it could be like a spiritual moment or a pivotal moment where completely transformed you or completely changed your world?
Well, I think what I don't know if it changed my world, but the moment I start working with Natalie Patterson was the moment when I don't know if it changed my world, but it got me more motivated, more inspired, more I don't know, more like I just want to do this and that's it. And I find time in between a 9 to 5 job and this to post all the time on Instagram and to speak to my clients and to respond to people. And it's amazing if you truly want to do something and you enjoy it, how you actually find the time to do it. Even if some people probably say, "Oh, how can you do that after a 9 to 5 job?" Well, you can. And if you enjoy it, it's going to be so easy and fun that you actually would like to do that all day. I feel the moment you start investing in yourself and you have someone to hold you accountable is also very important
Yes. Yeah.
because I think that drives you even more because you have that accountability that you feel like you need to do
Yeah.
better and you need to show
Yeah.
up as the best version that you can.
Yeah, I totally believe that because, and especially if that person has invested their time and money into like a coach or mentor, then they're more likely going to take action and actually take it seriously. So yeah, I totally believe in that. And like the energy that you put in, the more that you want to make the return in your investment. So um the other thing I kind of thought about, there was one question like, how do you handle challenges? So when you have a challenge in your business or in your life, how do you what do you do to get back into your high energy state or get back to who you truly are?
Ah, depends what it is. Um, but I always let my feelings go first. So if I'm angry, if I want to swear, I'm gonna scream and swear for 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute, whatever it takes me. Let it all out. And then usually I'll either listen to some very nice music that motivates me or do a meditation or just go for a walk and listen to music and reset myself. But the first thing I always do is let all that energy that isn't bothering me, let it out. Swear, scream, cry. Sometimes I cry. Sometimes it just makes me feel good to just cry for 5 minutes or whatever. I don't actually measure it, like whatever it is. Let it all out and then reset and start again. I think it's very important that we don't bury the feelings that we have inside us. I think it's very important that we let it out and acknowledge them in order to be able to deal with them and not get stuck on top of each other and have so much negative energy and feelings that you never release, more or less.
Yeah, totally true. I think like negative emotions, they serve a purpose, and once you find that what it is, what the positive learning is, and that's when gets released. So what is one piece of advice you would give for your 18-year-old self? If you could go back and tell your 18-year-old self something, what would you tell her?
Oh my God, I don't know. What would I tell her?
it's that beginning stage of life where you're still figuring things out. Well, I was anyway. I had no
Uh,
idea what I was gonna do.
when I was 18, I wanted to marry a rich guy and teach my whole life and do nothing. That's exactly what I wanted to do when I was 18. Or maybe not do nothing, but around those lines.
Yeah.
Now that's not what I want anymore. um, I think that my 18-year-old version of me should have trust her intuition more and realize a bit faster that there's more actually to life than we see with our two eyes.
Yeah.
I wish I would have had this awakening a bit earlier, but I guess better later than never. But yeah, I wish I would have realized a bit more back then. Because back then, all everything that we see matter was all I could have understood.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you something, and then you said you don't really read books. Do you appreciate art? Do you watch movies? Do you have any other creative outlets or things that interest you on that in that side?
Well, I don't read them, but I listen to them, so it's a bit different.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. So you listen to
So
books. Okay,
I
so
like
then
listening to them, not to read them. So I know I
okay, okay, okay. So
listen.
then yeah, I can ask you this question then. So is there a particular movie or a book or piece of art that has really impacted you, was really has really thought has really affected you on a deep level, has moved you? So is there any particular book, movie, or piece of art that you can that pops up?
Okay, honestly, with art, I'm not good, so I'm not going to talk about something I have no idea because I'm just going to make stuff up.
Art is so subjective. Like, yeah, some people can just throw paint on the walls like that's art. So it's okay.
Yeah, that's true.
It's okay.
Um,
Art is whatever you believe is art.
the one of the books that got me closer to manifestation
Mm.
and all these spiritual things, even before I actually knew it's called manifestation, because I actually was manifesting my whole life, and some of the methods that we are taught to use in manifestation, I was using them, but I was using them because that's how my mom told me I can pass exams. So then I was just
Oh.
using them in my day-to-day life without knowing that it's called manifestation. So yeah, but there was this book that I really loved. It's called The Game of Life and How to Play It.
Yeah.
Uh, I Florence Shovel. I can't pronounce her name. Give me 1 second. The Game of Life.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite books as well.
Yes, you can pronounce her name because I don't know how. And
Yeah, Florence, I forgot Schultz, I think. Was it Schultz? I'm not 100% sure either. So you have
yeah, but
to,
you know what you get. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I know the book. Yeah.
yeah. I just love that book.
Mm.
I just love it because it's true. If we would learn how to ask the universe, God, source, whatever resonates with anyone, the correct questions, then things will be delivered to us. But I think we're just too stuck and keep telling the universe, God, whatever, that I don't want this or get me rid of this or things like that, instead of focusing on asking the important question. Kind of like, I don't know, let's say you want a new job. Universe, how I'm gonna get a new job? Show me the path. And if you just ask this and you believe it, it will happen. Like it never happened to me that I asked for something and I didn't get it. Oh, maybe not in the 24 hours as I wanted, but I always got it. So I think it's very important to learn how to ask these questions.
Yeah, I think what I got from that book was seeing, it reminded me that life is like a video game where you've got different levels. So you're stuck in the same level because you don't realize there's another level. So then once you see there's other levels and you have to like you have to go through this change in yourself to get to the next level in that game. So that's how I started to think that life is like a video game.
I like your way of thinking. And I think I heard someone else saying something the same. And it's true. It is like a game because the more you're stuck in the same belief, you're just gonna generate the same reality. So
Yeah.
It is. The more you upgrade your subconscious mind and your limiting beliefs, the more you upgrade yourself and you get to learn
Yeah.
more. True.
Yeah. It's like opening yourself up to the possibility that there could be another level. So then you say, oh, okay, so I want to shift. And then you get there. And then you don't go back. You can't go back. Um, so how do you define success, both personally and for your business? What does that mean to you?
Um, at this point in my life, I think
Mhm.
if you want to consider yourself successful, I think you need to have mastered most of the areas of your life, including like health, love, business, um, self-image, which is also very important. Because when you have when you manage to be happy in all your area of your life, that's when you actually in alignment of your soul and in alignment of what you're here to do on earth. Because I don't believe that we're sent here to struggle or to have problems in an area of your life and be okay in the other. I think for someone to be truly successful, they need to be able to learn how to master them all, to be honest. And I'm not saying I'm there because I'm not, but I think that will be the definition of a success soul that came here to earth, being able to live the life on their own terms in all aspects of their life or whatever that looks like for them.
Yeah, great. Um, yeah, so well, are there any particular topics or questions or something that you really want to talk about right now? Is there anything that like a burning topic that you really enjoy talking about or want to talk about?
Don't necessarily want to talk about. I actually am going to ask you because I'm curious from your point of view. Why do you think so many people complain about the things about the fact that things are expensive? And the only reason I'm asking this is because I think in the last week or so, I heard the word expensive from people around me so many times that I literally got to the point when I was like, I could not hear it anymore. I literally could not hear it anymore. And I'm just
Mm.
like, why does everyone just get stuck into one word and then keep saying and saying it? And the only thing they're gonna do is never gonna be able to have that thing because they just push
Yeah,
it away.
because I think that people like they aren't consciously aware that the words actually go into their brain and then they actually believe it. So people who are conscious of that, they reject to start to reject it because they know how powerful those words mean, and that actually creates their reality. So people who aren't conscious of that, they just repeat whatever they've heard because you hear on the news, right? You hear whatever, like the videos that you watch, people say that, oh, prices are going up, oh, and people see people like complaining about their situation. So that becomes their reality. So I don't
That's why
watch
I
the
stopped listening to
news.
the news.
Sorry?
That's why I stopped listening to the news.
Yeah, I don't watch the news. But then, like, after you stop watching and you go back and listen, you're like, why would anyone listen to this? It's so negative. And you're
Honestly,
not creating solutions. You're just talking about and also making it worse than it is as well.
yep.
Yeah, so that's what it is. I think it's just consciously being aware that what you're saying is what you're creating that in your head as your belief. So changing the words is going to change how you feel and how, yeah, change your life.
Yeah, I'm surprised how many people, instead of saying, because even when I was younger and I had no idea about
Mm.
manifestation, how everything works, I always used to say that one day I'm gonna have enough money to do whatever I want. And the word expensive never, there was never in my mouth for me.
Yes.
I wanted it and that's it. There was no question. Couldn't care less. I'll make it happen.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised how many people don't have that ambition or that desire to look at that thing that is expensive and be like, it's expensive, but you know what? I'm gonna make it happen somehow. instead of just putting there out there very far away and in an unreachable spot. But I guess that's why we're here to help people, all of us, in our own unique way.
Yeah, I think it's also giving people um like it's the current it's what kind of the default word that people use, and also like they don't know what else they can use to replace that. So maybe you could say, oh, how can I afford that? Or how can um what's the word? There's a particular word, like instead of saying, oh, it's so expensive, you can say, oh,
Premium?
yeah, I think it's changing your energy around that, because when you say expensive, you're like, oh, you feel like you're separate from it. So once you change the feelings around that and you're becoming closer to the vibration of that thing that you want, then the word expensive is like not even in, because it's also like also feeling worthy, I think also as well of what you want. You're saying, oh, it's so expensive, meaning maybe it means to you that you can't afford it when you're looking back at, oh, how much money you have, and it doesn't resonate with the thing that you want. So yeah, I think changing the wording and
Yes,
feelings.
changing the wording and changing the wording in the perception as well, I guess, because I feel like a lot of
Yeah,
people are still growing up and grow up and still believe that just because they were not born into a rich family, that means they can't have it all and they're never gonna fly first class or business or have the holiday of their dreams or something like that. And that is so not true. It's so not true. And I
yeah.
hope that one day more people realize that. And yeah, and we wake up to have an amazing human experience, I would call it.
Yeah, I also find it really powerful to change, to put yourself into groups where people don't have that level of thinking, where they're thinking like, of course, I can have whatever I want. I'm just going to go for it. So once you move yourself into those groups of people that are not even in that, they don't even have that train of thought in their mind. They have like much bigger and much more empowering thoughts. You're naturally going to just shift in their vibration. Yeah,
Yes, I want to say something about that as well, if you don't mind.
yeah,
Especially for people who are listening to this and they're at the beginning of this journey. I want to say that is absolutely normal that once you get more and more deep and you elevate elevate your consciousness, you know what I mean? I can't pronounce the word. And you elevate yourself and you learn more, and the more curiosity you have and the more you learn, a lot of the people that used to be your friends and the people you used to hang around with, even if
mm,
it's for a drink or for a dinner or whatever, they a lot of them will stop understanding you and you will not have the same interest as them anymore.
yeah,
And I think it's important for people to know that sometimes it's normal to lose those friendships because you
yes,
are stepping ahead and they are unfortunately not stepping at the same rhythm as you. Maybe they will in the future, maybe they won't. But I think it's important because I did had to give up two very good friendships that I had with people who helped me a lot, and I love them into pieces, and I still love them into pieces. However, the way they see reality compared to how I see it and where I want to go, it's so far that I had to. I don't say I don't talk to them. I will talk to them, things like that, but definitely not that level of communication and friendship. And it was very hard for me at the beginning, but the more I grow and grow and grow, I do understand now that those things are gonna happen. And unfortunately, we have to understand that the more we are with people who think the same of us, the more we're gonna grow, our energy is gonna get better, and our life is gonna get better. So unfortunately, those things happen and they are painful and you sometimes miss them, but you kind of need to let it go if you want to step more into your higher version of yourself.
yeah, 100%. Um, I think the last thing is, um, yeah, last thing would be how do people contact you if they want to find out more about you? And do you have any offers at the moment?
Yes. So I haven't officially launched it. I made the program, I put everything together. I haven't launched it yet. I do have a program which is called Unhook Yourself. It's an 11-week program where we go through defining exactly what you want and how that looks like for you, making yourself a vision board, working with the energetics, reprogram your subconscious mind, taking the actions towards your vision, and a lot of amazing stuff. But if anyone wants to have a chat and even discuss the ways you can create your own life, you can find me on Spiritual Spark Guidance, um, on Instagram and on TikTok and on Facebook. I don't use Facebook that much, so I encourage you to use Instagram and TikTok if possible, please. But if you want to have a chat about anything, I'm here to help you, and we'll just take it from there.
Thank you so much for your time, Alina. I loved
No
having
problem. Thank
this
you for your time.
conversation. Yes. Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye.